All right, guys, let me get 30 seconds of your time so you can figure out if this is the video for you. Are you living life on your terms, or are you just living? Like, is the life that you're building right now, are you living it on your terms, or are you just living and existing and you just fell into a career, a job, a business? You're just doing what you think was expected and you don't know where the hell your life is going. You're not excited about it, and you're actually living on everybody else's terms. You're doing what everybody else wants to do. You're doing what your wife wants you to do, your girl wants you to do, your boss wants you to do. You're doing what your parents told you to do. You're doing what your friend told you to do. You're not living in alignment, and you're not congruent with what you actually want to do, because that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to help you guys. If this is for you, if that sounds like a topic that you want some help with, stick around. I got Epic out here. We're doing a little light cardio session on Sunday before we go have some dinner, and I'm going to break down this strategy for you guys. A couple little like mindset shifts that you can make to start living life on your terms and stop being punked around by life. Okay, because life does. It punks everybody around. Everybody just wants to play by the rules. And then they do that, and they find that they're not where they want to be. They find that they're miserable, they're unhappy. And they have that wake up moment, and then they spend the rest of their life trying to fix it, but it's like too late. Or at least they feel like it's too late. So for some credibility, why am I qualified to talk to you guys about living life on your terms? Well, I have done that. Thankfully, in my life, I have lived life on my terms. I didn't originally. My progress, my path went like this. I went after a dream, I failed, I quit on myself, I gave up. I realized how much that sucked. And then I was in Iraq at 20 years old, and I decided, you know what, screw it, I'm going for it. I'm gonna go after what's in my heart. And ever since then, ever since I was 20 years old, I went after what Jeremiah wanted. And it was one of the hardest things that I ever did. It will be one of the hardest things that you ever do, going after what you truly want, the life that you truly want, because everybody around you is gonna talk shit. Everybody around you is gonna see you for who you are, not who you wanna be. They're gonna pull you down, they're gonna criticize, and that's just the price that you have to pay to actually pull off. It's like the entry price. It's like the entry price to getting the life that you want. Now, I'm still climbing, guys, but this mindset of going after what I wanted led me to a very successful military career. It led me to doing some great things in athletics, running 100 miles, doing a couple cage fights, just really expanding myself as an athlete, then moving out here to Florida and expanding my business. So if you want to live life like that, where you're going after what's inside of your heart, man, I'll tell you, dude, there's a lot of ups and downs in this path, but it feels so good to go after what you want. I was thinking about this. The last couple of years for me has been rough, but I'm so happy that I'm not being pushed around by life. So this is my point when it comes to you guys. One of the mistakes that I made early on that will help you live life on your terms is that number one is stop chasing goals to achieve, okay? The purpose of your goals is not to achieve. What I have learned is that the purpose of your goals is to grow into the person that achieves them. So when you stop focusing so much on what you want and you start focusing more on who you want to be, you're going to find the path that you actually want to take. The career that you want, the business that you want, etc. Now, that's the first thing. So stop focusing on what, start focusing on who. And the purpose of your goals is not to achieve. The purpose of your goals is to grow. And growing means you're going to have growing pains, okay? So that's the first thing. The other thing to live life on your terms is you have to stop being such a coward, dude. You have to stop being such a coward. You cannot go through life being so scared. Now, I'm going to get you fired up. I'm going to get you motivated. And I'm going to tell you, stop being scared. But that does not mean that going after what you want isn't going to come at a cost. If you can't handle failure, man, if you can't handle the ups and the downs of the path, you don't belong on the path. So go build yourself up into somebody that can fail forward. But take a look at your life right now, all right? I was on a call with a guy the other day, and man, I'll tell you, if you guys look at my social media, like my TikTok or my Instagram or my YouTube, a lot of my content sucked. It sucks, and it sucked. It really sucks. And you got to ask yourself, why did Jeremiah leave this stuff up for you guys? I did. I left it up for you guys. And I left it up because I wanted to show progression. I wanted to show you guys starting from nothing on social media and building and building and building and failing and losing and just making an ass out of myself and my message being off and getting scrutinized. I went through all of that and I'm still climbing. But if you notice, the content's getting better. But the point is I was on this call with this guy the other day and he's trying to make a life altering decision. And he said, hey, do you think I should do this or this? And he was like trying to put together the strategy. He's trying to put together the plan for his goal. Do you think I should go this route or do you think I should go this route? And okay, long story short is he wants to be a speaker. And he's like, well, I'm trying to figure out what my message is. And I'm trying to figure out, like, if I go put the message together, do you mind if I send it to you? And I said, yeah, but here's the thing. I don't want you to send me the message until you go tell me where you're gonna share it. I don't give a shit about the message. I care more about where you're gonna go speak at. Let's get the booking, let's get the speaking engagement, then let's go put together the message. And it kind of like his mind kind of like glitched, right? So this is for you guys, like in your life, like where are you trying to put together the strategy? Where are you're over here sitting down trying to figure out what direction to go instead of making that firm decision on who you want to be and then starting. Like I always say, progress creates perfection. Progress creates perfection. And looking back on the last like 5 or 6 years that I posted on social media, if you guys go look at the content, it's like, yeah, could I have been a little bit more diligent? Absolutely. Could I have put out better content? Absolutely. Could I have learned a little bit more? Absolutely. But I'll tell you, I am 5 or 6 years more ahead than the person that's still thinking about their content that they're going to put out. The person that's sitting there thinking about the strategy. The person that's thinking about their next move. Thinking is just mental masturbation. You guys know this shit. So if you really want to live life on your terms, man, like you have to get over this you know, the paralysis by analysis mentality. But more importantly is that there's 2 things that's going to cause you to live life on your terms. 2 mindset shifts right here. And it's the focus, to focus on it's, you need to focus more on reps. Like there's 2 things that are going to stop you: a lack of reps and the wrong perception of yourself. Like 2 things that are going to stop you from living life on your terms, right? Is a lack of effort, a lack of reps, and then your perception of yourself. You looking at yourself like you're not ready. You looking at yourself like you're not qualified. You looking at yourself like you need more time before you get started. So if you want to actually shift the mindset and you want to actually start living life on your terms, you got to get reps and you got to change your self-perception, dude. Okay? That doesn't mean run around talking in hypotheticals and theorizing about stuff you have no qualifications in. Like the guy I was talking to, I said, hey, listen, if you're going to speak on a subject, don't speak about shit you don't know about. Speak about what you know about. Talk about your lived experience. If you start talking in definites, if you start talking about how the world works, the first thing a person's going to do is look at your life and be like, how do you know how the world works? Your world looks like shit. Why don't you just tell us about something that you overcame, and then we can learn from that. So if you speak from results, and you speak from your experience, you can talk about anything that you want because it's your lived experience. This is where you guys are going to have the most confidence. But the problem is you guys try to jump in to these different areas and you try to be something you're not. So if you want to live life on your terms, you have to be your fully authentic self. You have to be who you are. Speak your truth, not these hypotheticals and these theoreticals, man. So bringing this all together, okay? The biggest thing that really will help, I think, everybody live life on their terms is stop being a coward, dude. Stop being so scared. Start getting those reps. Change your self-perception. See yourself as somebody that can work their way towards perfection. And I look around at the world, man, and I see so many people living like I once lived. You know, like when I quit on myself, I gave up. I did what I thought made sense. I took the status quo route. And I was miserable, dude. I was miserable, and you will be miserable too, man. The pain, listen, dude, you guys know this shit. The pain of quitting hurts way more than the pain of failing. So I don't care how old you are. If you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s. Quitting on yourself hurts so much because you live in regret. You live, you know, the mirror, like your past is a mirror, not a throne. You shouldn't, like, even if you've had some success in your life, you shouldn't be looking back on your past like, oh, that was a good time, and have this like plum syndrome, poor little old me, and dread your future. Oh, the past is over. That was the greatest time of my life, and it's over. Now I'm stuck here with where I'm at. You guys, living life on your terms is a choice. It's simple as put. It doesn't, you know, you got to think, like, if your life is maybe the size of this video here, you're born over here, you die right here. Well, the last part of your life, you're not really going to be super ambitious, right? You're going to be settling in. So let's take off a little bit right here. Maybe like the last 10 years of your life. And then the beginning part of your life, you're just fucking that all up. You're messing up the first third of your life or so. And you've only got this much time to really dial your life in and say, I'm going to go for what I want. And I don't care if you're 99 years old and you're going to live to 100, you might as well go for it that one day, because that hurts. That's a life well lived. Even if you try just one day, you're going to find so much peace and so much happiness. So guys, living life on your terms, it comes down to getting the reps. It comes down to changing your perception of yourself. Understand that you're qualified to go after whatever the hell you want. Progress creates perfection. Stop asking people for permission. Be fearless. Stop being scared. And let's go out there and conquer all. Hope this video fires you up. I hope it makes you really think about the life that you're living and whether or not you're living life on your terms or everybody else's. Conquer all, guys.